turgid morning, Martha looked through her window and froze. Her neighbor's dog was jumping out of her compound, mouth stained with blood. Then she noticed her daughter's clothes lying on the floor. Her heart stopped. She spun around. Nora, her 5-year-old daughter, was nowhere in sight. "Nora," she called out, her voice trembling. Silence. She ran downstairs and searched every room, every corner of the house, but found nothing. Panic rising in her chest, she rushed outside, steadying, and stopped cold. Her nursing cat lay lifeless on the ground. Martha screamed.
Please.
She ran to where the 3 kittens were kept. Empty, all of them gone.
Yes, 911.
With shaking
my
hands,
sister
she
cat
dialed
daughter.
911
Please send
and stormed
someone,
toward her
please.
neighbor's house. Elizabeth, a 65-year-old woman, opened her door to find Martha standing there, trembling, tear-streaked, and
Your
furious.
dog. She killed my cat. My daughter is missing.
There must be a mistake.
I saw her with my own eyes. Her mouth was covered in blood.
My dog has never harmed a living thing.
Daughter is missing.
"Your dog has killed my cat and her kittens," Martha cried, "and my daughter is missing. I don't know what your dog has done to her." "There must be a mistake," Elizabeth replied calmly. "My dog wouldn't harm a fly." "I saw her with my own eyes," Martha's voice rose. "She jumped out of my compound with blood on her mouth." Just then, Willow trotted out from behind Elizabeth. Martha pointed at her frantically. "Look at her mouth." Elizabeth
You can't
looked,
just...
and her breath caught. She couldn't believe it. Before Elizabeth could say another word, Willow walked gently toward Martha, nudging her with her nose and wagging her tail softly. Martha's grief turned to rage. She grabbed a thick stick from the ground and swung it hard before Elizabeth could cry out. Willow collapsed. "Willow!" Elizabeth screamed. She rushed to her dog and dropped to her knees, gathering Willow's limp body in her arms. Willow was unconscious, unresponsive. Elizabeth wept uncontrollably. Elizabeth had been married for 38 years. She and her husband had tried for over 3 decades to have children, and when it became clear it would never happen, they adopted Willow. A few years later, her husband passed away, leaving Elizabeth utterly alone, except for Willow. Willow was her child, her companion, her reason to smile every morning. And just a few months ago, Willow had given birth to 4 puppies, making Elizabeth feel like a grandmother for the very first time. She held Willow on her lap, sobbing as the police arrived. "Her dog jumped into my compound, killed my cat, and the kittens are missing, and I still can't find my daughter," Martha told the officers through her tears. "Did you actually witness the dog attack the cat?" one officer asked. "I saw her jump out of my compound. My daughter's clothes are on the floor. Something terrible has happened. I just know it." "Have you checked your CCTV footage?" Martha paused. She hadn't. The officers walked her back to her house, and just as they reached the front door, Nora came running out. "Mommy," she cried. Martha's knees nearly buckled. She ran to her daughter and held her so tightly, sobbing into her hair. "Are you okay? Did she hurt you? Did Willow hurt you?" Nora blinked up at her, completely confused. "Willow? Mummy? Willow didn't do anything. I saw Mr. Johnson jogging and I ran out to join him. I'm sorry, I should have told you." Martha held her daughter close, relief and something heavier, guilt washing over her all at once.
Let's look at the CCTV.
They went inside to review the CCTV footage. What they saw left them speechless. A large, wild cat had leapt over the fence and made straight for the kittens. Before it could reach them, Martha's cat threw herself in front of it, fighting with everything she had to protect her young. The wild cat was bigger, stronger, and more vicious. Martha's cat was thrown down again and again, bleeding, but she refused to run. She refused to leave her babies. Her cries echoed through the neighborhood. Then Willow appeared. She had heard the cries and leapt the fence without hesitation. She launched herself at the wild cat, fighting fiercely, sustaining several deep wounds herself. But she didn't stop, not until the wild cat turned and fled. Willow stood there breathing hard, looking down at the kittens crying around their mother's still body. Then she did something no one could have anticipated. She gently nudged the kittens together, lay down beside them, and began to nurse them. Martha sat in silence, staring at the screen, tears streaming down her face. She had beaten an innocent dog, a dog that had risked her own life to save her cat, a dog that had then mothered the orphan kittens out of nothing but instinct and compassion. She ran. She ran back to Elizabeth's house, where the old woman still
Where's
sat on
my
the ground,
daughter?
cradling Willow's head in her lap, weeping quietly.
Call an ambulance. Willow is innocent.
"Call an ambulance," Martha said, her voice breaking. "Willow is innocent." Elizabeth looked up. Those words made her cry even harder. The ambulance came quickly. The veterinary team rushed Willow in, working urgently. Martha and Elizabeth stood together in the hallway, two women bound now by grief and guilt and something unspoken between them. Then the doctor appeared. "She's responding to treatment," he said. "Willow is going to be okay." Elizabeth let out a sob of relief. They went in together and found Willow lying quietly on the examination table. They sat beside her, each stroking her fur softly, saying nothing. After a while, Willow opened her eyes. She looked around the room slowly, confused, disoriented. Then, without warning, she leapt off the table and bolted. "Willow!" Elizabeth called after her. But Willow didn't look back.
Willow!
She ran through the hallway, past the vets and staff who tried to stop her, out through the doors and into the open air. By the time Elizabeth
Willow!
and Martha made it outside, she was gone.
Willow!
They searched the streets, called her name until their
Willow!
voices were hoarse, and eventually filed a report with the animal rescue team.
Willow.
A citywide search was launched. "The injury may have affected her neurologically," one of the doctors said
The
quietly.
injury may have affected her neurologically.
The words cut Martha like a knife. They drove through the entire city looking for her. Nothing.
Willow.
As they pulled up to their street, defeated and exhausted, they stopped at a pet store and bought formula for the puppies and the kittens. It was the least they could do. But when they opened the front door, they both stood completely still. There was Willow, lying peacefully on the floor of Elizabeth's living room, nursing her 4 puppies and the 3 kittens side by side, all of them feeding contentedly, small tails wagging. Martha's hand flew to her mouth. Elizabeth sank into her chair and wept, this time with joy. Martha stood in the doorway for a long time, watching Willow care for babies that weren't even hers, and she cried quietly. Not from fear or panic or guilt this time. She cried because she had never in her life witnessed anything so pure. And she stood there, hoping with everything in her heart that one day, somehow, Willow would forgive her. Some hearts are too good for the cruelty they receive, and some souls love unconditionally and no matter what.